I'm with Peter Bide, who's a consultant and a former policy advisor to the Department of Communities and Local Government. Peter, thanks for joining me. Now it appears that Schedule 3 of the Floods and Water Management Act will not be implemented. How do you see the implementation of SUDs happening, particularly within an urban environment?
I think it's going to be particularly challenging. I was very disappointed about Schedule 3 being thrown out of the window, and I think what we're left with the way it's being operated through the planning system is actually worse than the situation before, because I think it's actually weakened planning controls, because bringing it bringing things so that only major development needs to be considered in the first place is actually weakening planning control. But having said that, I don't give up at all, and I think there's a lot of opportunity, and I think the opportunity is not to rely on regulation, not to rely on the stick, but to rely on a carrot, and the carrot is the benefits that SUDs offer, and that's the direct benefit to the developer, as well as the wider benefits to society and to the local community. And I think if we concentrate on the advantages, the benefits to the developer, I think that's the real way of getting wider uptake of SUDs and getting SUDs done on most developments.
And do you see the local planning system being the sole driver for these things, or other people need to be involved as
Other
well?
people need to be involved. I don't think the planning system is going to be much of a driver at all, to be quite honest. I think that local planning authorities can be drivers themselves, but not through implementing planning policy, but by realising the wider benefits for the community and joining things up so that that they get increased environmental benefits, increased public amenity benefits for the community, and those benefits bring other benefits by upgrading the area, encouraging growth, encouraging more business growth.
Okay. And I know you've been talking about the idea of urban partnerships, and do you want to just explain how that would work?
Well, what I'm thinking about is really extending the idea of catchment partnerships into the urban area. Now, catchment partnership they're working very well in rural areas. Basically, there's a large number of different stakeholders with interests in the water environment. Local planning authorities, both in their role as lead local flood authority and as local planning authority, but also water companies, local community groups, businesses, developers, the Environment Agency, Natural England, a whole range of people with an interest in managing water effectively. And what we're trying to do is to encourage more people, more local authorities, more people in urban areas, more stakeholders in urban areas to get involved in catchment partnerships, because what a catchment partnership does is allows a more strategic view of what's happening in the catchment for all issues to do with water. So it allows local planning authorities particularly to look beyond their local area and influence what happens outside their area, which has a direct impact on the development and growth within their area. So we can get this joined up management of water and joined up management of our rivers, with everybody doing their little bit to make it happen.
Okay. And are these working already, or is it something that...
Some of them are working already, but not nearly as much as we'd like to see. As I said, the catchment partnerships have really taken off in rural areas, but we've yet to see them really happening in urban areas. There are areas where it is happening. It's happening in Sheffield. It's happening in South East London. But it needs to happen much more widely. And I think because the two statutory duties to cooperate, one under the Floods and Water Management Act and the one under the Localism Act, aren't really working. There's nothing wrong with them. They're very powerful tools, but they're not being implemented, and there's no pressure to implement them. And unfortunately, even though the Communities and Local Government Select Committee pointed this out to government and said more needs to be done. Government needs to do more to actually implement these, to make people cooperate. The government has said they're not going to do anything more. So what we're relying on is voluntary cooperation. And so we need to encourage that cooperation through catchment partnerships rather than trying to enforce it through the regulatory duties to cooperate. We should get the same effect, but again, we need to do it, let's say, with using carrots now, because we don't have the sticks.
Okay, Peter, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.